Hey guys, Mauro here. Let's talk about the matches from yesterday, Monday 25th on the Miami Open. That's the second week, starting the second week of the tournament. And after Federer's match, the previous match on Saturday, I can remember at Boot or some guy like that from I don't know, some guy that I hadn't seen before, which was a pretty good player, but Federer played a horrible match. I mean, if you guys got to see that, I think it was on Saturday. He was just plain horrible. And the thing with Federer is that because of his style of play, it's more noticeable. It's more noticeable that when he's not having a good day. Any player that plays very aggressive is going to be more noticeable when they're not having a good day. When you're a kind of player that is not as aggressive as Federer is, which is most players, um, you can have a bad day, but it doesn't look as bad. When you have a guy that plays with a very risky, like Federer, like plays, uh, he doesn't really rally too much, and he when the thing with Federer is he knows that the style of game that better suits him. He knows that his style of game, being aggressive, attacking, finishing the points quickly. So when things are not going well, he doesn't um, he doesn't really slow it down. He's just sticks to his guns. He says, you know what, I know this is the way I play. This is the kind of game that has given me the best results, and it is not probably it's not I'm sure it's not the only style of game that he could play. I mean, it's not the only style of game that he knows. But if he I'm sure that in his mind, the when he visualizes himself, okay, slow it down, play the ball, be more consistent, put more spin on it. When he starts having that conversation in himself that most people have, like be more concerned, be more careful, low risk kind of shot. I'm sure that makes him that just doesn't go with his personality, and he feels that I have a better chance of finding my game again and coming back into the match than changing my style and finding out, let's see if that works. And the truth is that that's what happened in the match. I mean, he you could see plenty of unforced errors, shots that they were gone by 3 or 4 yards out. But the guy doesn't slow down. He doesn't slow down because he knows this is the kind of game that I have in my blood, that I have in my head. This is the kind of game I have programmed myself to play. So I'm not gonna change it. And when you're having a bad day, when you're not playing well, I'm I'm not saying that you gotta follow the same line that he does. Like stick to your game and just keep whatever style of game you have, keep doing it. Whether you want to do that what Roger does or you want to change your style depends first on the player itself, on your style of game, on how deep is your game established in you, how well you have mastered it, and also on the opponent. Sometimes you're playing an opponent that you say, you know what, I can, if I slow it down, I can be. If I'm more consistent, I can beat this guy. It might even be better and easier to beat him because he probably doesn't like that playing kind of player that just hits the ball back and he's a counter puncher. So I'm not saying that when you're not having a good day, you just stick to your guns, and just go whatever style you have, do it. No, I'm saying you gotta think if you want to stick to it. You want to think if you want to change it. That depends on how much you have mastered your game, and that depends also on the other player. There are guys that you're gonna beat them if you change your style just for that match, and there are guys that they're gonna destroy you even worse if you don't do it. So, but anyways, that match that Federer won was perfect proof of You don't have to play you don't have to play pretty to win. You can win ugly, like Brad Gilbert used to say. You can win ugly. The goal is to win, is to advance to the next round, and he got it. And then yesterday he played Krajinovic, which was to me a much tougher player than he played before. And you can tell the difference. It's amazing how one player can be such a different player from in one day and 48 hours after. That's how fascinating to me is the mind, because it's not really your game that changes from one day to the other, or in 2 days between two different matches. It's what's going on in your head. And sometimes we just don't have we're just not having a good day, and things are not going to change, so it's not that all of a sudden your backhand turned out, today your backhand was good and tomorrow it turns out that just out of the blue it sucks, or your serve or your volley or whatever. It's just sometimes it's something in the head, and sometimes we try to find a solution in the match, and we just can't, and it just naturally happens to, well, you saw it to Federer, even Nadal and Djokovic, and even to the best players in the world. So, okay, let's move on. Kyrgios game. I don't know if you guys saw that match against the guy that he was talking to in the stands, and just Kyrgios, the same. Yeah, a lot of talent, but it's the same. He's an entertainer. To me, he's not a performer. He's not a lot of people can say, oh, this guy has a lot of talent and could be huge. Yeah, it could be. There are tons of guys in the tour that could be huge. Not all of them probably have the talent that this guy has. But to me, Kyrgios is the best example of talent is overrated. That's I mean, it's good that he's a talented player, but you know what? A guy that has a talent, that has the weapons, that has a game to be one of the best in the game, but he just doesn't want to do it consistently. To me, that just to me that means that the guy doesn't have the guts to step on the court every single match he plays and say, I want to be the best. I am going to give everything I got out there. To me, he's just more and more like the kind of guy that says, oh, I could beat you if I wanted. I could beat this guy if I wanted. I could beat this guy. Yeah, you could. Probably. But the thing is, you're not doing it consistently. You have beaten everybody, but you're not doing it consistently. And you go one day and you can beat the number one in the world, and then the next day you can go and lose to the number 20 or 40 or 60. So to me, the guys that are really good but are more like, whatever, like him, to me it's just a lack of guts. To me, it's big because it takes guts to be vulnerable. It takes guts to put yourself in the spot and say, I am gonna give everything I got, win or lose. It's not easy to do that over and over, because there's going to be plenty of people that when you win, it's a normal thing. You're supposed to win. And when you lose, they're going to be all over you. They're going to destroy you. So to me, Kyrgios is just the same. It's just when he plays well, yeah, he's good. And when he loses, again, it's the same. To be honest, to me, it's just the same. Let's turn it completely around, the other side of the cone, totally around. Tsitsipas, young guy, very mature, going out there, growing. His game is growing. The guy. You see him and Shapovalov, and you tell these are the two guys that are, among other young guys on the tour, but these two guys, you can tell that they're really taking note. Every single week, they're learning and they're applying and they're finding ways to improve their game. I like to see Tsitsipas and Shapovalov, trying to come forward whenever they can, especially Shapovalov. And the guy said, "I'm trying to add so much new stuff to my game, trying to move forward every time I can," and that's good, because I think that the game has been, it kind of got stuck in the baseline. And I understand that with the new technology and the racket, it's very difficult to come forward. But you know what? I'm gonna give you the perfect example. That guy Rublev yesterday playing Shapovalov. Rublev is good, but to me, I see him and I think this guy, he's got. If he if he brings more stuff to his game, is he takes the risk like the other guys to say, I'm gonna put myself in out there in the arena, being vulnerable, learning new stuff that I'm not mastering right now, and I gotta go through the process of mastering, and I know I'm gonna lose, and that's the only way to learn it. But that's gonna take you from here to here once you master it. I would like to see Rublev doing that, because what I see is a guy that has a good serve and and has a good forehand. But I was watching him playing Shapovalov yesterday, and the guy, there were points where he will hit 5 or 6 forehands. In 3 or 4 of those, he could very well come to the net and finish the point right away. But the guy, I mean, you will see Shapovalov hitting balls that will bounce, not even as far as the service line, even shorter than that. And this guy, he just move around, run around, hit the forehand, and go back to the baseline. And I'm like, Jesus, man, are you serious? I mean, you cannot pound your way through in every match. You cannot rely on just a forehand. You cannot rely on just a serve. Let's go to Opelka, the big American guy, just to serve. If you have the chance, guys, if you have Tennis TV and Netflix, and you can go and watch the replay of that, please do so and watch the Opelka and Medvedev match. And you're gonna see Opelka returning serve and the way the guy moves. I mean, there are times when I say, this, I know this guy is huge, but did he ever practice? Did he ever really put the time to say, okay, I want to improve my speed, I want to improve my mobility, I want to improve my footwork, I want to try to hit, I want to try to make those returns, something that Ivo Karlovic did. Many years ago, there was a time when Ivo Karlovic, in the top 100 players in the world, he was the guy with the lowest percentage of return of serves. And he turned the thing completely around, so much that at the age of 40, he's still playing with the best players on the tour, 40 years old. And I saw him play Isner in Acapulco 2-3 years ago, and believe me, the guy, it's when you see him on TV, he doesn't do justice to how that guy is. He moves much better than you would think, and he hits the ball really nice from the baseline. So I think Opelka, to me, is just like the same mold of the American player. Huge guy, massive guy, not really someone that built his game like Tiafoe is doing. This guy, massive guy, so nature gave him the height for a massive serve. But the guy, he's just going to get as far with that serve. He's just going to get as far. And we saw with players that have been much better than him, players that had a big serve and they had a decent forehand or a decent game, they still didn't make it that far, So anyways, going back to Tsitsipas, Shapovalov, I love it. Something that we all have to learn. You have to start adding more stuff. If Federer, he rebuilt his game to become a better player. Tiger Woods did the same. And these guys, we're talking about 2 of the best players ever. Probably each one of them the best in his sport ever. And they still got to the point where they say, you know what, I gotta redo my game. I gotta add more. I gotta shift something. And they did it, So that's one thing that I would like to see Rublev doing, or I hope he gets the message and finds out that say, dude, you're not gonna be able, if you really wanna get to the top 10 in the future and fight against Shapovalov and Tsitsipas and Tiafoe and all those guys, you're gonna have to think something more than just a forehand, and even a big serve and a forehand. You have to think of more variety. I like it because I'm seeing the new generation of players coming forward a little more. Some of them are very noticeable, like Tsitsipas and Shapovalov. Some others are not, but I like that. I want to see more guys coming to the net. It's I think that the game has gotten a little. If we didn't have Federer coming to the net, that's on the top players, the one that comes to the net. I mean, there wouldn't be anybody else except Anderson, because that's his style of game. So I'm really for that, for players becoming good. Don't master the baseline for 10 or 15 years. Master your baseline and master the net as well. Tiafoe growing, improving. I kind of don't like the things that sometimes he does at the end of the matches, like showing the arm. Uh, I just don't. I just don't like that kind of stuff, guys. I don't like it. I feel like that's when players starts getting a little too full of themselves. That's the idea that I remember when I saw Coco Vanderweg, and I just read it that someone was saying like she feels that she's entitled to win matches. Nobody entitles you. You gotta win them. And I don't like Tiafoe doing that kind of stuff. You don't. I mean, I understand in the moment you can celebrate, and do a feast or something. But once you get that far, I just I don't like it, and I like the guy a lot. So I really hope he doesn't go that way. Medvedev that beat Opelka, huge. This guy, I think that guy is gonna be a top 5 or top 3 in the future. I mean, probably, I don't know, in 5 years or something like that. But the guy definitely has the weapons and has a mentality and has a game to be one of the top 5 players in the world. And well, I'm just excited. I'm excited because I'm seeing a generation of new guys coming that a lot of them are very. I'm still seeing that they're following the line of being smart, centered guys, discipline, and they kind of know the fact that we had Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, and they're the veterans, and they play these kids, and sometimes and they still beat them, and sometimes they beat them badly. I like that because these kids, it pushes them and say, I gotta stop the crap. I gotta get out. I gotta get out of feeling full of myself. I got to work because these guys are not gonna be gone tomorrow. They still have, I mean, 1, 2, or 3 years. Federer is probably be gone in 1 year or 2. I think Djokovic and Nadal, they still have. I truly believe they still have. Djokovic, I believe he has 3 years, and Nadal, I think he has, depending on his health, but hopefully he'll be fine. Very well, both of them have 2 years where they're gonna raise hell together with Federer for against these kids. So, anyways, guys, that's it for today. I'll see you next time. I hope you like it. Give me a like, subscribe to the channels. Let me know what you think, and just go out there, stay centered, be bold, be perseverant. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.